Hello and welcome to your extended reading for the new beginnings. This is a new beginning for me and it's also going to be a new beginning for you. So I'll go ahead and get started. If you're finding this because you've watched the overall video, then some of the graphics here will be familiar to you. And let me fix this here. And behind me, I have a couple paintings that I did a long time ago, symbolizing left brain, right brain. And you know, this kind of like flip that happens in the body, how the right brain controls the left side and the right side and the left brain are connected, you know. So we have these interesting polarities that are a theme in my work and then a theme in my readings. So if this is resonating with you, we're going to dive in a little bit deeper with those in particular. Okay. So yeah, this is not scripted. I'm just going to go through and read the cards. But before we get too far into it, I do spend time at the beginning pulling cards for each sign, and I've kind of like printed them out here. And there's a map, which I'll put up here next to it. So I wanted to say that overall, because we all have every sign, these themes are important for the new beginning. So we have the Lover's card times 3 for the major arcana. And it was the only card that repeated 3 times, and it happens to be the major arcana. Sometimes the Lovers is considered choice, and because this reading is about choosing, you know, how you want to look at things and how our words and our thoughts matter, I think especially in this case for you as you are contemplating a new beginning, just think about how much that is emphasized for everyone throughout this reading as an influence in making new beginnings. We're choosing to make a new beginning. It happens not because we're expecting it to, because we take action in order for that to happen. We also have the Queen of Swords repeated twice, which is the element of air, and the Four of Wands repeated twice, the element of fire. And air and earth are heavily dominant. So this is just a little bit of overall energy before we get into your specific reading to orient us on the map. So there's a north, south, east, and west, and then also the elements, and then the 12 different zodiac signs, and your reading is going to be focusing on your particular zodiac sign. So let's get to it, okay? Hello Virgo, and welcome to your extended readings for new beginnings. And the affirmations that have brought you today to this extended reading are: I am fluent in all the languages and types of love, from universal to erotic, and you are out of control and destructive with unquenchable longing. So what are the different types of love from universal to erotic? Well, I didn't do the research before this, sorry, or have it written down in front of me, but there's, you know, different traditions and different philosophies, and, you know, so some of them would be like love for self, love for family, love for the world, love, romantic love, you know, to give you a sense of all the different types of love. And then, of course, they psychology has their version of this when they talk about like attachment styles. Are you securely attached, insecurely attached? Are you avoidant? Are you avoidant, insecure? So I'm using the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot today for you, Virgo. Now, Virgos are very kind of known to be sort of perfectionist. So being out of control is probably undesirable for a Virgo. They like to be in control. If you're feeling destructive with unquenchable longing, oh my gosh. So maybe like, you know, you long to be in control and you feel like you're out of control. So there might be this kind of question of like, what's enough for you? Because unquenchable longing is that nothing is really enough. So if you're sort of a perfectionist and you're in pursuit of something that's not obtainable or not possible, that would make you kind of out of control and make you kind of crazy. So how do you learn to have that love for everything or unconditional love that would allow you to feel fulfilled? Those are kind of questions around these two things that that you might be thinking about. So you have to do a little bit of work on your part. This is just a general reading, so I'm giving ideas to get your brain working here. So we'll choose one question for, you know, what does it mean to be fluent in love? Another card here about issues of control. A wild card in the middle, and then let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. So the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Swords. This is someone who is normally seen as stealing or, being sneaky, which sometimes you need to take care of yourself, and so you're going to do it any way you possibly can, and that could be stealing food if you're hungry or being sneaky about something because you don't want to get caught because you might get punished. So that energy is there. It's a swords energy, so it's a story. It's something that's kind of like in your mind. So to me, this is speaking to perhaps well, I'm kind of like linking them together in my mind, and you're going to have to be creative to apply it to your situation. But in my mind, let's say that someone cares about you, but they also feel sneaky because they're not, for some reason, who knows what their reason is, but maybe they take things of yours to keep them as mementos, but they don't want to ask you for them. So it's like compulsive, maybe, you know, they're just kind of like, you know, like in stories, sometimes, you know, someone will like sneakily cut a piece of hair or something like that from someone that they love and like keep it in a locket, you know? So there's something very like personal and kind of like secretive around that act, and you can choose to see it as treacherous, or you can choose to see it as an act of love. So you just kind of like, where do you fall on that scale? How do you respond to it? And then the other thing is that maybe, you know, it goes a little bit too far. You take too much. So there's a lot there in that Seven of Swords just to start. But let's see. Clarification on love is the World, 21, Major Arcana. So this is a big shift. So something is kind of like tectonic in nature. And also, when we talked about the types of love, we can't overlook the fact that we just got the World. So we're talking about, you know, love of the world. Sorry, a little brain fade there. Love of the world. So we're talking about pretty big-hearted type of languages here, you know. So my example was pretty small earlier, so I don't know how the Seven of Swords would, I guess to do it differently would be that maybe you feel as if you have to be deceptive in order to fulfill the needs of the world somehow, or something like that, like there's some story that you're telling yourself. Let's see what this out of control card is. So this is the Six of Swords, kind of very close to the Seven of Swords, and it's a woman in a boat heading toward a better location. It means, you know, you're being taken to a better place. So this idea of being out of control with unquenchable longing, it might be kind of perpetually thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, and always moving forward with the thought that if you keep moving forward, it will get better. But there's maybe a sense of being out of control with that because you can't stand your ground, or you're not standing your ground. You're constantly feeling like you're having to pick up and keep going and pick, searching for something that's going to be better for you. Let's see what the wild card is. The wild card is the Three of Swords, which is a sense of longing and sadness. So to have that as the wild card, you've got a lot of swords here. You got the Three of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Seven of Swords. So you're a lot up in your head, Virgo, which isn't necessarily your natural place to be. You're an earth sign. You want to be like grounded. So that's there's sort of an imbalance here. Then you have the Queen of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Knight of Cups, and the World. So you're sort of out of your element here. There aren't any cards that are really connecting to your safe space in that sense. Right. Yeah. Looking at my notes here. So, yeah, maybe this choice, this concept of choice, because Lovers is one of the themes for all of the cards, and being fluent in them all. And then the world is Earth. The world itself is Earth. So, so in terms of maybe where you can ground yourself, if you're feeling out of your element a bit here, which it looks like from these cards you were definitely feeling out of your element, it would be to connect to your love for Earth, and also the Earth's love for you, and thinking about all the ways in which the Earth supports you. And that this is, because it's also the 21st card of the major arcana, this is an indication that you're also going through a pretty major transformation. From 21 is like the end of big cycles in your life, maybe like a Saturn returns type of a thing, or the end of an era kind of a thing, a beginning of a different phase of life. So yeah, I hope this message is good for you. I think that to have the Lovers as the overall card for everyone is really positive. To focus on this idea of becoming fluent in different languages of love, and in particular the bigness of your heart. You feel pain and you feel those things so sensitively because you do have such a large capacity to love, and that's a beautiful thing. I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and if you do, let me know in the comments down below. Your comments could help somebody else with their journey, and if not, maybe go back to the beginning and try a different reading. Good luck with your situation, and I hope to see you next month. Bye.